What it is, y'all, it's your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back with another 6-ring Siege video for Demi-Sprit Freeze. I'm not going to lie, this one gave me some problems, but not in the way you probably think. So, let's talk about the 6-ring Siege, shall we? First things first, as you guys know, I like to try to build teams that are pretty free-to-play friendly. And, dare I say this team is anything but? In my defense, Earth Team is one that snuck up on me. I always said the Earth Team was a team that wasn't really that good. And then along came Lazar, and slowly but surely, we built an Earth Team that's really, really respectable. I'll be shocked, frankly, if we don't S-clear it today. We'll see how this plays out. So, number one, obviously, we're going to be using the new Tione. Fantastic unit, easily one of my favorite outfits in the entire game, and she will do earth attack damage and counter rate plus 100% for all allies. So a very, very, very good unit just to have in the front. Now, worth noting, she is our only magic unit. So, when it comes to the Lena assist, basically the unit who's going to give earth resist and guard rate and poison resistance, oddly enough. Not that we need poison resistance, but she does that. She is going to be tied to her because she has magic attack. That's really the only reason she's there. So, or well, the reason she's there. It's the earth resistance and the magic attack. She's going to be tied to Tiona. Now, normally, as you guys know, I like to put the units that buff strength and or magic in the front. Tiona's our only magic unit, and she gives herself enough of a magic buff. I think she's going to be okay. So, normally I try to avoid other time-limited units, and largely I have, but I didn't have anybody else that really fit the bill for this at the moment. So, the reason that we're using Lazar here is for the strength buff 120%. This is going to come in clutch. This is going to come in very, very, very handy and very important to us. Now, obviously, we have Haruhime. She really needs no introduction. She's been in all of these teams. Then we have in the 4th position, Otaro. Now, great unit. Hero Fessa, physical earth unit. Fantastic. Needs no introduction. Just a really solid unit all the way around. Okay? Now, obviously, then we have Winnie for the single target resistance. And then we're going to bring in the brand new Mamma Mia from the anniversary. Now, Mamma Mia does earth resistance. She does all target attack damage plus 50%. We're debuffing single target, but she's basically going to make sure that everybody's SAs and AoE attacks do really well. So 4 additional actions. She does a whole bunch of stuff, but the main reason she's here is because she turns everyone on the team into a tank. Lazar's going to need that because Lazar debuffs his... He debuffs his physical resistance a whole lot when he attacks. Now, as far as assists go, everyone here should be pretty familiar, with the exception of this unit once again. And I hate to use anniversary units here, but it's just the team that I built for this. I didn't really have anybody else that fit the bill so well. So, in essence, I'm going to use Alkitane here because she's going to buff earth attack damage. As always, we want to keep our earth attacker basically on the last rotation, because when she drops in is essentially when she becomes active. So by having her here in an earth buffing stance, she's going to be really, really, really handy for basically everybody. And because she's not physical or magic, she could go on anybody, so I could have technically put Tiona here in the last slot, but I kept Tiona a little further off. Well, I put her in the front just because we had that one unit that buffs magic, and I didn't have any other magic units, so it just made sense. It's just kind of a logical build here. Now, once again, when it comes to Memoria, I'm basically going to buff strength. I'm going to go ahead and do the HP regen. I think that's going to be really important. And we're going to buff earth attack damage. Both strength and earth attack are buffed late game. And the whole reason we're buffing strength and not magic is simply because, well, to make it real simple, we only have one magic unit. Everybody else is strength. So, let's go ahead and jump in. Oh, I didn't talk about equips. We do have to talk about equips real quick. This unit does stunning. We talked about poison, but we didn't talk about stunning. I've equipped everybody with the best possible item for them. Not all of them are completely ascended, I hate to say. But based on my early damage reports, I think we'll still be able to get a good clear out of this. Now, as far as... how do I put this? As far as she's concerned, our opponent here is going to do a lot of stunning. So what I've done is I've equipped everyone with the stun anklet, and that way they'll resist all of that stunning. It's just going to be very important to the long run of the game. So, going in here, everybody's a real easy build, pretty much. Everybody's pretty much a 1-2-3 build. So we're just going to go ahead and do skill 1, skill 1, skill 1, and skill 1. It's super simple. Now, the reason I chose to put Mia on the back rather than Otarl is because, number one, I think Otarl's would be better in a DPS stance. She's really more defensively minded. Number two, she costs a lot of MP to use periodically. So I think having her on this rotation is just going to be all around better. We may lose some debuffs just because she's coming in late game. We'll kind of play it by ear and see how we kind of handle that situation. But per usual, come in with a skill 2. Once again, skill 2. And she's going to be skill 2, which is really convenient. And then skill 2. Pretty straightforward stuff. Now, when I chose a backlot unit, I chose not to go with Lazar because he basically takes a lot of damage without the offensive debuffs, I guess you could say, that or I guess defensive buffs technically, that Haruhime applies to her team. So without those, he really would take way too much damage. So I need to either put Otarl or Mia on the back end. Now, Otarl's got a lot of hitting potential, and like I said, Mia costs a lot of MP to use. So really, it was kind of a toss-up here. Now, because she's going to produce a lot of defense, Otarl does have his barrier, but she produces a lot of defense at her MP cost. I chose to put her on the backside, but you really could float either one. Either one would be fine there. They don't need the defensive buff that Haruhime puts on to basically work, so they're going to be okay. Now, let's check our debuffs. Debuffs look good. Strength and magic are down 40%. Magic resist down 40. Physical resist down 40. Earth resist down 40. 1 unit resist down 30. So that's going to allow us to produce maximum damage. You notice that both sides are at 55%. Debuff, both physical and magic, and Earth is down 110. So now we're going to go in and we're going to start doing our single target attacks. And I do need to make sure our buffs are in play because I don't believe we have anybody that is buffing or say replicating our buffs. So we're going to do skill 1 there, or sorry, skill 3 there. Once again, skill 3 here. I could, in theory, use her over here for the... Actually, you know what? I'm going to do that because then we get 100% counter rate. Everybody gets Earth attack damage. I think that's worth. I'm going to go ahead and do her SA here. Now, why am I doing her over Lazar? Well, number one, both Mia and Otarl get good enough physical buffs. We don't need those right out of the gate. The 100% Earth attack damage to everybody is really just going to help the whole team produce damage. Now, we're already chipping away at our health. This will go even faster now. Now, Mia's the one that I really need to pay super close attention to. So, notice this skill costs 120 MP. 120 MP. With the extra action here, it'll reduce any of her buffs down 3 turns. She's a buff in this turn, so it kind of makes sense to do this. And yeah, and then Otarl will come in and do that. Now let's compare her skill 2. Slow super Earth physical attack with temporary strength boost, alter and counter rate, 30% HP heal, which we actually already have. Status buff down 2 turns, and self Earth attack damage and heal plus 70% with damage received type all in single targets down 60% for 3 turns. Basically, she's never going to croak. But kind of feel like I still want to do her skill 1. To me, I think it makes the most sense. All right, so let's go. Nice. 2 mil hit. Even as a solo 2 mil hit. Now, she is a spirit killer. I believe her and Mia both are. So they will do extra damage. Extra damage. And it's going to be a lot of fun to watch them work. Now, Magic is still up 100%. Counter rate is up 100%. Earth attack damage is up 100%. She is pretty good at this point, but we need to make sure that that magic damage doesn't kind of fall off. Plus, her extra action... Actually, no, she'll be good. She's got it for 3 more turns. So she's going to be fine. Let's see. Yep. She'll be all right. So we'll go ahead and do her skill 3. Let's see. Lazar. Let's see. Status debuff plus 2 turns. He's going to help replicate debuffs. So he'll be very good in this stance. I think, honestly, more than his skill, because his skill 3, I completely forgot, is based on her strength and physical resistance buff, and she buffs her magic. So it doesn't really matter so much. We're going to go ahead and use his skill 2 as his main DPS, because then we keep debuffs and replication. Completely forgot about that. That's the one weird caveat to this unit, so we're basically going to do that. Mia's going to go on to her skill 2, and Otarl, on the other hand, let's double check his buffs. Everything looks good here, so we're going to go ahead and just use his single target again, I think. Yeah. So he doesn't need to rebuff until next turn, so we'll be good there with this big single target. Now, in essence, everyone should have a lot of, I guess, damage resistance. Everyone just got a barrier because of Mia, so everyone should be good. Lazar's the one I'm most worried about here, but I think he's still going to be all right. And look at the damage we're producing. We're already producing a really significant amount of damage. So, let's see here. All right, so we need to rebuff her magic attacks, so we're going to go ahead and do her skill 1 again. We'll be good there. Unfortunately, I just don't have anybody on this team that will buff the extra, or that will buff everybody's buffs. So essentially, it's going to be just really important to just keep these in place. We're going to do skill 1 with these 2. Mia, let's see, she's good. So I'm going to do her skill 3, big single target attack. Otarl, we already determined, needs to do Credentist again. So we'll go ahead and do that buff. And everyone should be fine here. Downside is that does mean, and it is quite true, that essentially we're going to lose the earth buff here shortly, but we can actually reapply it. And with how much damage that that Tione produces, she actually could be a really significant DPS for us. Oh! Or not! I did not see that coming. Uncool. And what's a little worrying here is that Lazar, I'll go back to doing his skill 2. Lazar's going to take extra damage too. Let's see. We'll go back to doing Mia. Let's see. Her extra action would be nice here. Man. It's a tough one. I'm going to go and go back to doing her skill 1 just to get the extra action out. And I'm going to go back to doing skill 3 with Otarl. And maybe, let's see. So he'll get extra damage plus 100% for every single... Okay, but you know what? We lost a lot of those debuffs, so we have to reapply debuffs here. And I think that's why she hit so hard, is because she removed those debuffs last turn. So maybe if I wasn't paying attention, maybe that's why we lost them. So let's go back here and let's try this again. That means turn 5, I really need to pay close attention because I probably need to reapply all the debuffs that turn and make sure that we're good. So, easy peasy, we'll do this one more time. And we can fix the one big mistake that we made. Why are you attacking? Auto battle's off. Why are you attacking? What? Okay, third time lucky, I suppose. Why are y'all doing this? I went in there, they're just like, bloodthirst, go. All right, third time lucky. Let's... This time, y'all, we have auto battle turned off. Let's just not and say we did, okay? Good grief. All right. So, skill 1, skill 1, skill 1, skill 1. Pretty straightforward. There we go. And you know what? This time I think what I'm going to do, since we do lose the buffs, I think I'm going to go ahead and save up for maybe a triple, maybe even a quad, but I think a triple would be better. So, skill 2, skill 2, skill 2, skill 2. You know, no real magic nor mystery here. And we need to keep an eye on turn 5. Turn 5, it seems like I'm going to have to reapply all the debuffs, so that is what it is. So, skill 3, we're going to keep Lazar on skill 2 this time. Skill 1 for Mia, and skill 3 for Otaro. Now, we're on turn 4, so we need to really think about our strategy here, because if she removes all those debuffs on turn 5, I need to make sure we reapply them, but I'm not sure in what order they get reapplied. So, let's double check here. So, let's see. She rebuffs everything on skill 1, and her debuffs all come skill 2. So, we'll do skill 1 here. Lazar is good. He'll continue doing his skill 2. Mamma Mia came in. She'll do her skill 2. Let's see. Extra action, higher physical attack, guard rate, blah, 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 blah. So, honestly, I probably should have done... No, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be all right. So, we'll do her skill 2 there. Otaro will do his, let's see. Self-physical magic resist. Everything he does on this turn really is offensive and defensive. So we're not really worried about it. He's not debuffing necessarily. So I think we're good with him. So skill 1, skill 2, skill 2, skill 3. Nice. Now this time I didn't do the SA because, like I said, I'm going to save up a little bit. And then maybe do like a quad or a triple. Maybe we need to do that. Maybe we do that like turn 9 or something to keep everything in play here. So here's turn 5. So she, if I'm correct here, she removed all her debuffs. Now, at what point does she do that? That's a big question, but we're going to stick to this anyway. So, this will do physical resist and magic resist down 40%. This will do strength magic, magic resistant, physical resist down 40%. We need that earth resist down. Strength magic critical rate, penetration rate down 40%. You actually don't need this action yet. So I think we'll be good. I'm going to go ahead and do her skill 3. I think we'll be all right. She doesn't get her extra action on this turn. We do have barrier. And I don't think she needs to reapply her barrier. I think we'll be fine. Let's see. Otaro did need to reapply Credentis. So we'll go ahead and do that. I think that's going to work. I think that is our... So let's see. So she's going to remove him. Looks like she removes him at the end of the turn, which is going to hurt. All right. So where did our debuffs go? There they go. And now she's going to do her big attack. So that's the unfortunate side. All those debuffs got removed right before her SA. And that's really what did Tione in. So for Tione, I just don't... I need another bond in her. I do have an extra bond I could throw in her. But you know what? Let's soldier on. Let's see what happens here. So once again, we will do all of our debuffs. Okay? All of these debuffs. And Otaro is going to save up for his big skill here. All right. Now, I want you to bear in mind that Lazar will probably take extra damage on this turn. Let's see what happens. Well, actually, no, because I think he debuffs his physical resistance. And I think it's... I honestly think that he knew... Maybe I'm thinking of Maybe thinking of the strength one. I thought he nuked his physical resistance. But she's magic anyway, so it's pointless. So we'll do skill 2 with him. We'll go back and do skill 3 with Mia. Let's see. Everything. Let's see. Guard rate, dex rate. Nah, she's going to need this. Yep. We'll do that. And then skill 3 with Otaro. So we'll have a triple SA. Really wish we had the quad. It'd be really nice to have the quad with Tione, but you know, it is what it is. There's not very little I can do about this. Now we got 2 turns to make it to the final. So we'll go ahead and do the triple here and see what happens. All right. Nice, 3.2 mil. Mia should have Spirit Killer, I believe. Very nice. And Otaro's 3.6 mil. Beautiful. Beautiful hits. Beautiful hits. Okay, that barrier is going to help us out big time on Lazar. Me and Otaro are literally not even a concern. So I'm going to go back to doing his skill 2. Her big single, and Otaro, his big single target attack. So let's see what happens here. You know, I would say if we had Tione still in play, this would have very easily been a clear here. She just had way too little health. We would have easily cleared it with her in play. So let's do this one more time. And once again, I want to emphasize Lazar's main thing here is extra act, or his skill 3 really only becomes good if there's a strength buff and a physical resistance buff. So it just kind of is what it is. Man, you know, Tione really was kind of the linchpin in this whole thing. She's the one who made all this work. And I just realized she also removed our buffs there a minute ago. So oh, this is super unfortunate. Yep. And we lost our earth resistance buff. So we'll do that. We'll do that. Give our buffs back. Man, I hate to say it, like Tione really was the linchpin here. What I probably need to do is maybe even remove Lazar and put someone on here. He replicates debuffs, but we have 2 people that are doing that now. I really need someone on this team that's replicating buffs. But you know, it is what it is at this juncture. Very little I can say or do about that at this point. She has Spirit Killer, but I think Otaro still hit harder. So we'll do that. And that should be it. Yeah, so Tione would have been the linchpin in this. I wonder if she was +4, if she would have survived. We at least cleared it. It was a sloppy clear, but man, if we had Tione, C clear is just really bad. If we had Tione, we would have done this. I'm going to come back and revisit this. I'm going to see if there's a way that I can modify this team and get the S clear without giving Tione much more. I think there's a way, but it's going to take some time to work that out. But for now, we're going to come back and we're going to work on the S clear with maybe a slightly modified team coming up here real soon. If you have recommendations, as always, put them in the comments. I'll see you guys again shortly for more 6 Ring Siege.